What up, what up, what up, what up, world? Welcome back. We are here for another episode of Men vs. Truth vs. Women podcast. I appreciate everybody tuning in each and every episode. I appreciate the support. If you get a chance, go to my YouTube page, Men vs. Truth vs. Women podcast. Hit the like, subscribe button. Check that out for me. Today I have two great individuals here. I always have a gorgeous young lady and a handsome young man. We get into a topic, we talk about it, and we get straight to it. I want to start off by we're gonna start it off a little different this week. We got a little sponsorship this week, so we're gonna start off by giving them a shout out. I'm gonna start off with a shout out to Deep Tissue Diva, basically Miss A.R. Johnson. She's actually one of the best masseuses in the city. Go check her out. Get with her with Deep Tissue Diva. I also want to shout out to my sister, also Miss Johnson, Ashley Johnson, her Spoiled Rotten Catering. If you have any business events, any type of catering, special event, some birthday, anything, she does it. She does her thing.
Her food is
great,
fire.
Great good with her food, and you ain't got to worry about the seasoning being wrong because it's always right. So hit up Miss Johnson in regards of her Spoiled Rotten Catering. And I also want to shout out one of my homies. Man, I've been knowing Ree for a long time, but I want to shout her out in her business with Essential Things Company. She has great accessories for the ladies. Ladies, we all like to look fly, right? Well, Essential Things and Company has all your fashion accessories, needs for handbags, earrings, bracelets, and more. Stand out with our ascending earrings and eye-catching bags. And you can also hit her up at our website at essentialthingsco.com. If you use the code Factual30 for 30% off, or already $60 or more. Shop Essential Things Company. Follow us, and then you can follow them on Essential Things Company as well on Instagram. But I appreciate them helping us out with the sponsorship. Shout out to Ree. Shout out to AR. Shout out to Miss Ashley Johnson and Sister Johnson. I got you. I need some food. I might have to get a special plate at some point in time. So, but we gonna get into a little topic. I told y'all about it. I let y'all know. We're gonna talk a little bit about deal breakers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I looked up the definition, and basically deal breakers is basically a situation where you're dealing with something not being upheld, something not being, it's being promised, but it's not being followed through in. So when it comes to deal breaking, I'll start with this young lady. Let's start with the young lady, of course.
Okay.
What is
Ladies first.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks.
What is your true definition of deal breaking?
Okay.
And we're gonna put
So
that.
like from what you just said,
Yeah.
like it's a contract essentially. So you haven't fulfilled the terms, your end of the contract, you know, whatever that was established by both parties,
Okay.
you know. So we talking deal breakers.
Right.
What would break that contract for you?
I mean, hold on. Let me start over. Let me introduce my good people. I'm just being rude. I'm just getting into it. I'm talking about business.
Yes, sir.
I ain't even introduced my amazing guest. Let me start off with the young lady, and then we go to the young man.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I introduced myself. Okay. What's up, everybody? I'm Sausha. Everybody calls me SP, you know, Sausha, whatever.
Ghost.
You know, either one. I know a lot of y'all, you know, we grew up together.
And tell them your Instagram as well.
Instagram is iamqueensp. And then also you can holler at me at trap.natural, which is my business. You know, we have the got the plug for y'all. We got the all natural roller papers. You know, everything's all natural, made from hemp, plant-based, vegan, everything. So holler at us, trapnatural.com.
Oh, it's vegan?
It's vegan.
I didn't even know that.
No animal byproducts.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on now.
And this young man, my brother.
Man, it's your man Will Jefferies. Instagram is Will Echo 33. Leader of the young people, builder of men, and
Hey now.
love my people. So what's happening?
I appreciate y'all being here with me. I really do.
Appreciate the invite, man.
Yeah,
For
man,
sure.
Definitely. I've been talking to SP about this for, what was that, about a couple months ago?
Yeah.
A couple months
But
ago.
it's
I was
all
like,
good. I knew it was coming up.
I had to bring her in.
That's what's up.
So, Mr. Will,
Yes, sir. Deal breakers.
what's your definition of a deal breaker?
I would agree with the definition. I mean, as far as not having a contract and the certain agreements and parts of the contract not being held up.
Okay.
I would agree with that. I would add on to that, if we're talking relationally, I would say,
You was reading my mind.
yes, sir. You know what I mean? I would say things that you are not willing to endure or put up with.
Non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables. Okay. So I really, when it comes to that deal breaker thing, I seen it 2 different ways.
Okay.
So the first way was I seen as being in structure and not following through with the structure. That was the number one thing I realized about that. Just realizing that you involved with somebody, or I'm gonna put it in a relationship perspective.
Yeah.
Being involved with somebody, you're being in a structured situation and you're really not doing what you said you was gonna do. You walking in the door and you saying, I'm gonna do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And then it just gradually retracts and you just in a place where it ain't accepted. So that was really the biggest thing when it came to this dealing. And the reason I wanted to talk about this, and I just told them before we even started the episode, I had 3 men reject this topic. And I really didn't
That's pretty deep.
Yeah. So it was different reasons for each one. But at the same time, it's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, we about to dig deeper.
Yeah,
than we
so
thought.
I didn't realize.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't. You
sent me the question. I'm like, oh, this straight. Like, let's get it.
And from a male perspective, when you send them to me, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing to run from or decline or whatever, but
like what you
it was
say
supposed
earlier,
to happen the way it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
exactly.
Another thing I looked into when we was talking about when I first dabbled into saying deal breakers was the biggest issue in regards to deal breakers was dealing with family conflict. So, can you deal with one's family conflict, or is it just a deal breaker?
What do you mean as far as like
drama, family
with
issues,
your family and stuff? Well,
You talking about with our own families or with our person's family?
We can talk either way because when you're saying this,
so do you have deal breakers?
No, with the family conflicts,
Okay, well, for me it's a yes, I do. For me, like as we go forward with this, basically what we're saying is, do you have boundaries? You know, and I think that in the Black community, especially like our parents' generation, they weren't taught to understand having boundaries. They just let people run rampant through their lives and have their way. But the more I mature and everything, this is my life. And this is how I run it. If you'd like to be on this ship, these are the rules. That's just how this goes. And that's called a boundary. So, I don't care who you are. And it may sound strict, but I treat my family, my friends, and everyone else equally.
So now
violations occur.
That's a fact.
So the fact that you said boundaries, are those boundaries able to be moved?
No.
So they're stuck in stone. There's no movement. You will. I mean,
it's a hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? But that's the point of a boundary. It's no longer a boundary if it moves. You got to think about like if you in war, you got your line, your first front line there. If y'all moving back, what message is that?
What's the point of the front line?
Yeah, the point of the front line being there is to hold it. So I don't believe in that, and that's a weak boundary. And when people can see that they can impede on your boundaries, they'll continue to, and then push your front line down.
I like how you do business.
A bar.
I like how you do business.
That's how I do business. That's how I conduct my personal life. That's how I do everything. Once you show me that you can't operate within my matrix, you're dropped. That's where I am now. Did I start there? No.
It's a process.
Yeah.
You really have to go through many experiences, and people have to violate your boundaries so many times that you stop playing with yourself. And that's just where I am now.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, Mr. Will.
Yes, sir. So
in regards to that, how do you feel about that with the family boundaries?
I agree. Boundaries are necessary. I think that boundaries are necessary for your mental and emotional sanity. Family, the tough thing about family is they feel like you're supposed to be at their every beck and call.
Ooh.
And the thing about a every beck and call thing is they don't care if it drives you insane. They don't care if it emotionally drains you. They don't care what you do with it out or how you handle yourself outside of them. They just want you to be there for them. And for us, we know, especially our people, as much trauma and stuff we deal with, like our mental health is vital.
Right.
And I love my family, but there are some that are leeches. They blood suckers. Like if you let them, they'll just drain you and keep it pushing. And then, then you got to deal with guilt trips and all of that. So after you establish the boundary, you got to have thick skin because family don't like boundaries.
Nope.
And especially when you elevating. When you elevating, when you're renewing yourself.
And they see it.
Yeah, they see you elevating. And as you continuing to ascend, it's like an airplane. You kind of looking down on them and they just getting smaller and smaller as you going higher and higher. Then you get called holier than thou and you think you better than us. And it's not that. This is just the decision that I chose to make.
Right.
And I can come see about you, but I'm not going to keep coming to see about you if you're draining me.
Right.
I can't be drained. So I definitely agree with the sister, man. Like, boundaries are necessary. They're vital, for real.
I think the biggest word that is boundary. So the number one thing about that word boundary is when it comes to these situations, once you actually commit to somebody or you actually showing them who you are and then you bring them in your world and you introduce them to your family, is the fact that the family's going to be judgmental. Are they going to accept her or him? Are they going to be able to adjust to the fact that you're involved with somebody? And that's what you said. You said that perfectly in perspective, saying at a certain point they're going to start looking at you different because you're moving different.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think the moving different actually messes with the deal breaking in regards of everything. So that's a big thing when it comes to that's a big thing when it comes to deal breaking, but it also has something to do with self-esteem as well. And I'm gonna jump into the next question with that. So is low self-esteem, can that be considered a deal breaker in a relationship? I'm saying a relationship.
I mean, yeah, I don't even see how we can arrive to the relationship. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I hate to be that guy.
It's okay.
that guy.
Gotta loosen your collar.
Right, right.
I'm just saying.
That wouldn't resonate with me at this point in my life, you know?
I feel like with women, it's an easy yes. They want that man to walk in a certain confidence, a certain swag about himself, poke your chest out, lift your head up, like, you know what I'm saying? There's a certain confidence and a certain energy that man has to have with a woman. I feel like with men, you have to be emotionally intelligent as a man to be able to handle somebody who has low self-esteem. Because if you see the potential in somebody,
don't
okay.
I knew where you was going. Don't hold your tongue on that. Just go ahead and spit it out.
Yes, sir.
I know where you're going.
Yes, sir. If you have the intelligence and the patience to be able to walk with that person and pour into them, but see, even that's a thing, because if I'm pouring into you, then you got to have more pros and cons. You know what I'm saying? If I see you being an asset to my life and being a helpmate, if I see that, then I can exert the energy to, okay, she need help in this area, she need help in that area, and I can reach and I can pull.
I don't want you to go too far.
Okay.
May I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
So you're saying you can see the potential. How do you handle seeing that potential if they can't use the potential that you see?
So for me, that's a good question, by the way. For me, it's about speaking life, right?
Okay.
So for me, I got to go spiritual just a taste,
Okay.
right? So
We can touch the book a little bit.
yes, sir, just a taste. So we're made in, I believe we're made in the image and the likeness of the Most High. So the Most High spoke and things came into being, right? So, and if we look at our lives, if we think about the things that we've spoken, let's just take the last 3 years.
Okay.
Think about things that are in your life currently. The things that we've spoken may or not be a direct benefit to what is our current present. You know what I mean? So if I'm taking this situation with this young lady into consideration, like I said, for me, if the pros outweigh the cons, I'll speak life into her. Hey, listen, this is what I see. This is what I don't see. Can you see this? No, we're not moving like that. This is how I think you should move. Like, how do you want me to help? And if I'm asking those questions, how do you want me to help? Then I'm putting the ball in your court to get you to think about bringing that esteem up. You got to address traumas. Because if you got low self-esteem, there's something that happened that caused your self-esteem about yourself and your worth to drop. It's a work.
Yeah.
Because you got that look on your face like, bruh, it's definitely a work.
It really
But
is.
that's why I said, like, the pros got to outweigh the cons. Because you got to put some, if she's worth it or if he's worth it, you got to put some work in.
So let me ask, I'm going to ask SP this question because she's the woman in this situation. So a man is all about you. He's trying to help you to the utmost. He sees some down points for you. How do you as a woman accept him telling you some things that you could do better?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think that's not hard. If it's somebody that I'm dealing with would be a man that I look up to.
Hold on, I'm going to give an disclaimer.
Okay.
I'm going to give a disclaimer about SP.
Okay.
SP is right here with me. She know how to go to a male mind of thinking certain ways.
She know how to flip the switch.
So yeah, she know how to flip the switch, and she will see the signs.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna stop right there.
Okay, I ain't know where it was going with that.
Right. See how this play
Put
out.
the disclaimer. But okay, so if it's a man that I respect, you know, what he has to say, his opinion, I think he's a good person, and these things are values align and that sort of thing, then I would listen to him, you know? Because you also have to go into things, for me, relationships, that's what they're about, growth. So when you're relating to people, that's another way you can see yourself. You can be in a room by yourself your whole life and not really know a lot. You have to interact with other people to know and reflect yourself. So, you know, that's what we're all doing here. So I would be able to listen to someone and say, hey, I see you this way, which may be different than you see yourself. And that could be positive or negative, you know? People may see, like you said, speak life, see more in you than you may see, you know, somebody may inspire you to do more and be more. That's fine. We're not none of us are perfect, and that's the whole point of continuing to grow, you know?
Absolutely.
You're becoming, you're experiencing things. But the original question was low self-esteem. Now, we're talking two different things. Somebody having some flaws and some things to work on, I think
It's different than
it's low self-esteem. It's like, you know, like you below the baseline. So we got to even get you back. Like if we all here, you kind of got to bring it up to here to even be playing the same
Get you
game.
500. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So
It's good.
I want to say to the low self-esteem part, low self-esteem ain't always low self-esteem. It's more of a confidence. So when somebody says they have low self-esteem, that can be the opinion of the outside person. That doesn't necessarily have to be that person. That person not having confidence is actually the issue. It's not the low self-esteem part of it. So my thing is, in regards to low self-esteem, when it comes to these situations, like Will said, you got to speak life into it. Like Sausha said, you have to be able to accept comments of positive reinforcement or ways of accepting it. So I think when it comes to that, the deal breaking in regards of being in a relationship with somebody with low self-esteem or just not having the confidence is something that can be managed. Because I feel like dealing with somebody that has those issues, you can help them with those issues.
Sure.
They just never been helped before. So,
I mean, we not no young whippersnappers, you know. We don't live some life by now. It's going to be certain level that I'm already expecting you to have conquered.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
By the time I'm
Y'all
coming
paths
around.
cross.
We're not 25 no more.
Yeah, so it's like because in confidence, if you lack confidence, how did you even walk up to somebody? Like, how did the relationship
I
begin?
didn't even think of it that way.
So
That's
what
true.
are we even talking about? How would I be in a relationship with someone that lacks confidence?
Well, she's spoken.
No, that's a bar. She on one tonight. She on one tonight. But that's the truth.
Just being honest.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
truth, though.
true. That's real.
That's the truth.
That's
So
for
how
real.
would the relationship even begin? So we talking about people who that's what I'm saying. Low self-esteem is one thing. Lacking confidence is other. There's levels to it. You
Definitely
know?
levels.
It's
Definitely
many levels to
There's
it.
many levels to that,
Because
especially.
it's some people that lack confidence so much they would never walk up to somebody or
That is a
nothing.
fact.
So they're sitting by
Sitting by
themselves or at
watching.
home, not even at the place because they have so much anxiety about. But that's being worried about what people think about you too much, and not worried about how you think about yourself.
So do you think, you just brought up a big word, anxiety causes a lot of trauma as far as confidence?
Yeah, anxiety, which is being anxious, you're worried.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's a big thing, especially among our people. It's a real big thing.
I feel like it's like now, I feel like it's even more
Yeah,
intensified.
Well, yeah, because
Absolutely.
everything is digital. So we don't even understand how to be with each other and be social anymore.
yeah.
Social has become being online. So when it comes to actual human interactions, people don't know how to do that anymore. But our age group do because we was
we do.
outside.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So
We was
the
outside.
so the age group behind us, they seem weird, to an extent.
Because they'll all be in this room and everybody be on their phone.
Right.
So they'll
They
be
see each
gathered,
other on social media,
but they'll be on social.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
but they won't speak to them right
Bro,
there.
be sitting
Right.
right across from each
Probably
other.
even tagging each other.
Yeah, tagging each other and
Yeah.
everything, but
But-
they won't speak to each other in person.
So that's actually a skill. Being confident is a skill, and there's once you have different things under your belt, you're gonna go ascend to different levels.
That's a
I don't
fact.
have to stay here
Yeah,
Nah.
for sure.
And I'm
because
not
I
going
have
to.
attained a skill that allows me to move in different.
And you see the
rooms.
benefits of exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm not.
That's something I embed in my son. Like my son says, I seen such and such on TV. Go speak to him.
Right.
If you know him or you done seen him around, don't just say, "I'll act over here like you're shy now," because I know you ain't shy.
Because has life become? It's just a series of interactions with
Yeah,
humans.
for
So if
sure.
you can't interact with humans, you're not even living life. You're just alive.
You turning into a robot.
You can't do
existing.
nothing.
You just
Turning
You
into
existing.
can't do nothing without
Yeah.
interaction.
That's a fact.
So
That's a fact.
yeah, that's definitely a good skill to teach your children. Especially being a millennial raising the next generation. We have so much that we could teach them.
Yeah.
Nah, they
just
need
in,
it.
just in knowing how to be a normal human being. You know what I mean? Outside of the multiverse. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah, that's
Show them how to be an
multiverse
actual,
is interesting too.
actual human being outside of the internet.
Yeah.
Because that's how you build and really become something. It's actually being that person.
For sure. But I don't want to get off topic.
All right.
We don't want to get off topic.
that's
We ain't
good,
gonna talk
though.
about the metaverse and all that stuff. We ain't gonna get there.
It's a
I
tangent
just
right
experienced it because my son got an Oculus, so I'm like, oh, this for real. Like I'm playing the little monkey game.
Yeah, they talking about buy your real estate.
Yeah.
Like buy your house in the
metaverse.
In the metaverse and the house that you own here. I'm like,
Oh man, y'all doing too much now.
Y'all kiss my ass.
Yeah, you're doing too much. But like, yeah, we gonna get back to this. So, is selfishness considered a deal breaker?
For me, absolutely. For me, if we're together, my responsibility is to serve. Your responsibility is to serve. So in my eyes, that's the only way we thrive is if we're serving each other. So if you're just taking, and you're not even looking to give, that's a problem. Because I can serve my way into exhaustion. And then when I'm exhausted, who gonna pour? Because my cup is empty. And I can't, your cup will get empty.
Yeah.
I know that from experience. Your cup will get empty. And if you don't have nobody to, if your person can't sense that your cup is empty, or you tell them, I just ain't got it today, babe. I'm exhausted, I'm tired, blah, blah, blah. They don't see it in your mannerisms and they don't look to serve, that's a problem for me. That's a problem. Because I'm on deck when it's time to serve.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that. I'm a giver by nature, but I had to grow through having to serve when that person was exhausted or when I was exhausted. So I had to learn from both spectrums. So, yeah.
Well, I think the word gets a negative connotation sometimes. Like,
You're the second person to say that. She's the second one to say that.
I don't feel like. Now, I feel like you have to be selfish at first to even fill yourself up, to even pour anything. You know what I mean? You won't have anything to pour if you never
That's
selfish.
true. That's
you know?
true.
So I look at it like that. And maybe because I'm single and, have been for a while, but that's what you're supposed to be doing, filling
Absolutely.
yourself up,
Absolutely.
and then you pouring into others from your abundance, so you always full.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it. So it's like what comes with that is you're always pouring,
Yeah.
because I always know how to replenish, so I can always pour.
I always know how to replenish.
Yeah.
So
I'm waiting for somebody to replenish me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
then if I'm in a relationship, I expect him to do the same.
That's what I was gonna say.
I want someone who's full. We're both full. When we're
Agreed.
both pouring from an
Agreed.
abundance. And it's always,
It's a
that's an
never-ending
infinity
cycle.
symbol.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I require.
So I think SP said it. Selfishness gets a very negative look to it, and it's always seen as being negative. But like she said, you have to pour into yourself before you're able to pour for someone else.
That's a fact.
I think I learned in the last 2 years, being involved in a relationship, that I have to learn to pour to actually receive the pouring back. So it's something you have to learn you have to learn on your own.
Yeah.
That's one of those self-learning things.
Yeah.
It ain't never something somebody can help you with. It ain't no game plan, no rule book. You have to see.
Sometimes how you brought up too. Like I
sure.
come from a place where there was an abundance of love.
Yeah.
So I never had to scrounge for that type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And see, I come from a place where I had to scrounge for it. You know
So
what I'm
that
saying?
plays into things
Yeah.
too, like with the
Yeah.
way you interact as an adult. If you're not aware and conscious of how your childhood plays into yourself now,
Facts.
then so all of that matters. So,
And I think women stay ready to pour. It's in them.
It is.
but
you know what I'm saying?
we magnify.
Exactly.
So it is like you said, you're a natural giver. Men are.
Yeah.
That's why y'all have a penis, and we're built to receive it. You are givers, but we're here to, once we receive it, maximize it. That's how we can grow a child. That's how we can,
Make a house
build
a
a
home.
family.
make a house a home,
Yeah.
turn some vegetables into a meal, whatever
Come
the
on,
case
somebody.
may be.
Yeah.
So that's what we're here
Preach
to
to
do.
the
So
congregation.
if
Man,
you
you hear
can't pour anything as a man, then you're not ready to receive either.
That's good. Hey, she on one tonight.
Yeah, she is. She 3 for 3. I ain't even gonna hold you.
3 for 3.
I ain't even gonna hold you.
Chef Curry out here.
But,
she cooking.
Let him cook.
Let him keep cooking. Let him
her
keep
cook.
going. But the main thing is, when it comes to these things, like y'all saying, is you got to be able to see it too, though.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the number one thing in regards to that. You got to be able to see it. If you don't see it, and you're just walking around with blinders on, and you're not being able to.
You mean like recognize somebody doing it,
Yeah.
like pouring into you,
Yeah.
or
If you can't recognize them pouring into you, or
when it's time?
when it's time to do it.
Yeah.
So it's just signs you have to notice and things you have to see to be able to keep moving and keep progressing and knowing if you really want this to work.
It's an awareness. You said signs you have to see.
You have to see. You have to
So
see
is
these
you even
things.
with a conscious being?
Yeah, for sure. That's
And
the
I
main
think
thing.
People be going through the motions, and
Yeah.
I don't ever want to live like that.
Yeah.
Facts.
Lord, going through the motions. That ain't even the word. That
You
ain't
got to
even
be with a conscious being that's aware at all times of what's the dynamic and what's the next steps.
do you realize I'm tired?
Listen.
Do you realize I'm struggling?
But
we talking about values. My
Yeah.
man, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, if that person got it, like, you got to study your person.
Yeah.
Sit there and just watch them move, watch them maneuver in situations. How do they handle when you talking? How do they handle getting up in the morning? Like, watching patterns. Okay, when this happened, you don't spoke like this before because I done heard this. Or, okay, so when this happened, you react like this. Studying your person, that will help a whole lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Being able to, because you'll know when to serve, when to pull back. Because you can't serve everybody hot food up front. It burns. You got to let it cool for a minute, let it breathe.
Let it
Then
get
you
some
jump in there
oxygen
and
to
serve.
That
You know what I
part,
mean?
Yeah.
That's a
was
a
good.
major thing
Yeah.
too. That's a major thing. You have to observe.
Yeah.
Observing is a part of. I don't think a lot of people,
everything.
Yeah, I don't think a
People
lot of
not paying
but it's,
attention. They don't even know the people
yeah.
they've been with for 5 years.
That's a fact.
For sure.
That's a fact.
But part of that is how deep do you know yourself?
Yeah.
You can't, as far as like that I've learned, somebody can't get no deeper with you than they got with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So if they haven't really faced themselves if they can't tell you who they are and why, you know,
Yeah.
I can't expect you to understand no depth of me. You ain't even got you yet.
Man,
Yeah,
come on.
it's true.
That's good.
So the
That's
level
good.
you on in general is the level you gonna be able to give to another, you know? So it's a lot of like, I always say, like, I swim in the deep end.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you still in the baby pool, you can't come with me.
You can't
Slow.
come in there.
It's
You can't
slow,
grow
yeah.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
People, you know, people
It's a
gonna
major
try.
thing,
They
yeah.
think you pretty and all this. This ain't just that.
That's
over
love.
here.
That's baby pool stuff.
Yeah, that's baby pool.
That's
stuff.
baby pool stuff.
That's just seeing the shallowness. That's
Right.
you seeing
Literally.
the bottom of the pool
Exactly.
and knowing what's there. Oh, that's cool. I can do
Still
that.
trying to come over here with me, then you
But
drown.
you seeing in that
Listen.
you jump in
nah,
that
you gotta-
big end, you jump in that
You
deep
need
end. It's
you
get
need some
different.
floaties and shit. I don't
You
got
hear
time
me?
for that.
That's
what we talking
You
about.
ain't got time for the floaties.
Yeah, that's what we was talking about earlier. Like with the
Yeah.
low self-esteem, I gotta put floaties on you because you want to be over here with me. Nah,
I gotta put a vest on you.
And then
we
sometimes
swimmers over here.
Listen, and then sometimes people will take that low self-esteem, or they'll take you putting the floaties on, and they'll run with that. Then it's like,
Yeah.
well, hold on, how long do we keep the floaties on? We're not trying to take
Right.
them off.
We ain't trying to progress.
You know what I'm saying?
We ain't
gotta
trying to
take
get
the
out.
floaties
We
off
ain't
sometimes.
trying to get out this vest so we can really see how I feel, how to swim.
Exactly.
Now, I'm not saying I'm not willing to compromise and stuff like that. You know, not taking it.
But that got to be both ways, though.
Yeah, but
You know what I'm saying?
that's pretty extreme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's what you really, like you said, if you need to really study somebody, that's gonna show you are they equipped?
And then it goes back to the top when we were talking about like deal breakers and stuff. Because once you
Yeah.
study your person, you got a decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
Can I put up with this? Can I put up with that? How are they when they're angry? How are they when you angry?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How do they act when things don't go their way? All these different things.
Are these changeable things?
Mhm.
So,
And then you got to ask yourself, are you willing? Can you grow through that with them? Can you walk through it with them?
Can you
you really
elevate?
gotta
with
ask
it?
if they never change. Another thing, can you stay here?
Exactly.
Because it's never a guarantee that somebody gonna grow and
That's
change.
a fact.
That's true.
So we talked about potential. Like I'm a nerd for real. So in science, potential energy mean it's not moving.
It's standing still.
Hey, she 4 for 4, big dog.
Man, for real, I'm dead ass.
She had the
real.
That mean
28 footer, bruh.
That energy sitting still.
Yeah.
So
It's just
potential
sitting.
means zilch.
Yeah.
Kinetic energy is moving.
Yeah.
So I need to see what's your kinetic.
Let's go to
what you
let's go
already
to
doing.
science class real quick.
Man, what? You
What-
hear me?
what's
Tell
up?
them about
Do
it.
you got motion? So when we talk about motion, we
Yeah.
talking kinetic energy.
I'm trying to figure out how much the offering I want to give. 'Cause she over there preaching to the people.
Hey,
You hear me?
We talking
I
kinetic
brought her in
energy.
for
We
a
don't do
reason.
potential.
I
energy.
brought her in for a
You
reason.
We don't
did.
do potential energy. It
So-
means energy not in motion.
Can we
Let's go back to 4th grade.
Yeah, let's go back to that. So I want to say this. Since you brought up this energy, can energy be seen as not being trustworthy energy into a deal breaker?
Yes. That's a guaranteed deal breaker for me. I care about honesty, integrity. It's really just about getting clear about who you are, what's your values, what's your morals, you know? So absolutely, if you value honesty, a liar is a deal breaker. It's that simple. It don't matter who it is. If it's your uncle, if you're a liar, I can't fool with you.
Yeah.
Because I don't got time for this.
That's a fact.
I don't got time to be figuring out, is he gonna?
Yeah.
Nah, goodbye. Too much extra energy spent. Next person.
Yeah. And you can be putting that energy toward building.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. If you like a battery that only got 100%, I just wasted 10% trying to figure out if you was lying. And I only got 90 for the rest of the day. Nah.
We done wasted the time.
Yeah.
We done wasted the
You
time.
can't never get it back.
But let me ask this though. Can your person earn that 10% back? Or does it? Because I'm
Not
asking.
when it's a lies. Like if this is a liar,
Okay.
I'm cool.
Okay.
That's like if we talking major deal breaker.
Yeah.
I don't do liars. I won't fool with you at all.
I think that's for a lot of women.
And
Yeah.
even with I'm talking
That's still
family too.
I really
regardless.
I'm just not gonna fool with you.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
think and
To
then
me, that's a basic. If you was steal,
That's a
you
pre-
kill.
that's a
If you- You know
prerequisite.
what I'm saying?
That's a
Like,
prerequisite.
That's what we on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it just
You don't
seems
got no
like that's
respect
the
for me.
number one thing for a woman is a liar a liar.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing else after that. A liar,
A liar.
a liar,
Yeah.
and a liar.
Because the basis of your relationship got to be respect.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't tell somebody the truth, you don't respect them.
I could have did this, and this.
Yeah.
But I lied about what time I came in. I'm a liar.
Oh yeah.
I'm a liar.
Everything else is on point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
Oh, that just ruined everything. That just broke through. That broke.
That's the
that broke
domino
the back.
that. Yeah.
Because that's
the
the
back.
bait. Because then people got to start calculating which part was a lie and which wasn't, and then it's like, so this whole thing fall apart.
And then a lot of times when women, no offense, a lot of times when women, they'll take that. You know how when you watching a movie with your lady or whatnot, y'all just seen the movie. First time y'all both watching it, and they gonna try to figure out the movie before it's over.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna run up the street with that thing. What if you lied about what time you came home and what was you doing? And boom, boom, like
Yeah.
they out of here.
About that?
Yeah, it's a.
So it's a whole, and then that's why we solving cases.
It's
I
MapQuest.
have learned.
And that's why we solving
I have learned. I learned my lesson.
That's right. In the next 48.
Man,
Last year I learned my lesson. I said, you know what?
Season 7.
Right.
It ain't even the time. We don't even need to do it.
Listen.
If I was all right.
The moment I'm there with it, I'm like,
yeah,
you got it.
yeah,
Yeah. I think every man has had that moment.
yeah. I had that a year ago. I said, you know what? There's no point. It's not solving anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. I was out. I was doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was drunk. Boom.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I came in at 3 a.m, but I was drunk. Wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah.
But if it's just you just out kicking it and you came in late, that's
still a
nothing.
problem. It's still a problem.
It depends on the person.
It's still that too.
It depends on the person.
It's still a
Now,
problem.
if it ain't no trust there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trust, respect. If you're not starting the baseline of your relationship, if the foundation off, prepare for everything to be crooked.
You said leaning tower of Pisa.
Yeah,
We here with it.
I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
So we already here. So let's go keep going.
Yeah,
what?
once you keep stacking, it's Jenga.
Yeah,
Man.
for sure.
With the one little piece missing
Yeah,
at
your
the bottom.
shit Jenga, man.
We got to replace this.
Y'all out here in these Jenga ass relationships. I refuse.
I'm confused. Better get out of that Jenga relationship.
It's Jenga.
I need all my pieces together.
Man, foundation strong, boy.
Put all these three across,
Right.
3 that way, 3 across,
The
3
original
that way.
tower before
Yeah, I need the
people start
original before it gets people start poking their pieces in my
Man,
tower.
what?
See?
So
That's a
I mean,
bar in itself.
yeah, for sure. Like I really, she said a perfect way of saying it. It is Jenga relationships out here. Because the reason it is Jenga relationships, because people got this straight tire, and then people
At the
start
top.
chopping away at the bottom of the base of what they got going on. So that's it's just real life
Once that's
situation.
gone, it's
That's
just a
it.
matter of time.
Timber.
It's a matter of time.
Falling.
I like the way you do business.
Man,
God,
She 5 for 5.
Man,
I'm
God,
grown as
look.
hell. Like, I mean, I don't know who may or may not know, but I've been married. I've been divorced already. I mean, that in itself taught
You
me.
better preach to the people.
And it's a
man.
lot of
The
shit
offering.
that I'm just beyond. And people
And you know what you gonna deal with, and you know what you ain't gonna deal with.
I don't got time.
Yeah, you know what you gonna deal
Been there,
with, and you
done
know
all
what you
that.
not. Yeah,
Literally.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, understandable.
It's different.
Yeah, it's
So
a
it's
different
like,
level.
and I can understand why, you know, these podcast ass niggas. I'm not saying you one of them.
No, it's a
But
trend
how they
right
be
now.
like, well, that's why we
It is.
dealing with 23-year-olds. And yeah, because you could be the one to damage her first before somebody else do.
For sure. There's always gonna be that trickle effect with it.
When she's still naive and don't know no better. And,
Yep.
You know.
I just was having this conversation with somebody. They was like, could you date this certain age? No, it ain't even about that. It's about the fact that, am I willing to get to know this person before we even talk about all that other stuff?
Yeah.
Because if you don't get to know nobody, then you just falling in line and you just doing what you're doing. You know you have an ulterior motive at the
That's a
beginning.
fact.
Yeah.
That's a
You
fact.
know you have one in the beginning. Because the first thing that sells a man is looks.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like that's okay. Like, I feel like we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now what?
Yeah.
But you still know your intention.
It's superficial. It's superficial initially, or this level one.
That's
It's
just
natural
level
for
one.
both ways.
Yeah.
That's just
And
level
that's not
one.
wrong. You're entitled to be attracted to the person that you want to deal with.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, if you
it's not a
smack,
problem.
it's a wrap.
Right.
I ain't got
If
that
you got
for
the
you.
wolf grill in the mouth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's not. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like that's not. Everyone's entitled to that. Now that's
Absolutely.
subjective, though.
It is. It's very subjective.
Very
you know?
subjective. So Whatever you like is what you like. Cool.
Absolutely. But once
Bada
you get
bing,
past
bada boom.
exactly,
That's fine.
Yeah.
and then once you get past that second level or that first level, like you said, everybody got their intention.
Right.
You know what you're gonna do. You know what your intentions is off the rip. That should be announced. Some people can handle it. Some people can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just depend on who
But
you're
that
talking
come down
to.
to truth. Like
Yeah.
we say, the
Exactly.
real players out here keeping it real from the jump. And,
Whew.
and they still got
Real players is that's a dying breed right now.
Yeah, but that's
Man.
that's like our age group and up.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel
So-
like, I'll be honest with you. I think, no offense, Lee, I know you're younger than us, but our age group, now that we've gotten to the age that we're at, our tolerance is low for the BS.
Yeah.
So the fact that we just walk into situations and we just say, all right, bro, what's up? What you need?
You're right.
That's just our mentality.
Yeah.
Like even for men.
All right, this,
Yeah,
what I got.
even for men,
You got
I'm
this,
gonna
what's
say
up?
it like this. Even for men, when women approach us and it's just extra aggressive, all right, what's up? What you really want? It's the same way, just like y'all. To be honest, it is. Because we
Now.
know women just know, because I know for a fact, there's a woman that sees this man out and about. She sees him maybe on social media doing positive things or sees him doing things for his family, and that's an attraction for her.
For sure.
So her ulterior motive is, I love what he does. I can make him my husband just because it's based off of what I know from what I've
It
seen.
don't got to be an ulterior motive though. Like that sound negative. Like maybe
No,
she
I'm
just-
not.
her
I don't mean it.
intention-
I don't mean to say it like
her
that. Her
intention is-
intentions.
Yeah.
Her intentions is to make this her
ulterior
man
motive is some
just because of his
negative
just for his motive and what he does and who he is
Yeah.
and what he does and what she's seen.
I'm gonna run you through the ringer though. I ain't gonna even hold you.
Nothing wrong with that.
I gotta prove you. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I can't have anybody at this stage who's not willing to be a teammate, who's not willing to drive if I'm tired, who's not willing to study me as I study them, who's not willing to submit, even as I submit. Because for me, submission go both ways.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely levels. So
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't play with that.
That's what we
I don't
talking
play
about.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's like when you say you're a giver, it's like it seemed like today our age group, because we kind of so jaded, you know.
We
it's
seen
like,
too
well, who
much.
gonna
We
submit
seen too
first?
much at an early
You know,
age.
we
too.
both like, well, if he ain't,
If
well,
you
she
ain't budging, I ain't budging.
Well, we all sit here by ourselves,
Looking
like,
crazy, and time keep
It's
on
crazy.
moving.
I swear.
But that's why I say the men, if it is really like, if you really think of classic like tradition, the man submits first,
Mhm.
and that's like we talking courting, and he's showing you like, this is what I want, you know. That's a version of submission. He's telling you, I'm giving you this. Do you want it? You know. So then when we choose and we give in, that's our next level of submission.
That's y'all part. That's y'all part of
then
the
it's like-
agreement. Yeah,
But then she is submitting to your plan, you know.
yeah.
So it's a trust thing
Facts, big time.
for
Big time.
women,
Yeah.
for both parties.
It should be.
but-
It should be for both. More so for women because it's
Yeah.
like I'm literally trusting you to protect, provide,
Right.
take care of me. I'm putting my life in your hands, especially if they come from a home where their father was the
head
seer, the
honcho.
head
Right.
He's the
honcho,
seer.
El Jefe. You know what I'm saying? He the protector, he the
That's what
provider,
they're expecting.
making sure exactly, and that's how it should be.
Right.
She supposed to go from the house where her father covered her to the house where her husband covers her.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the
shouldn't be no in
traditional
between.
way.
Yeah.
So like it's a safety thing.
It is, exactly.
And we don't feel safe today, and that's why everyone's not. You know.
And that topic is so deep in itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
So that's like
a
a
big
deal
topic.
breaker, if you will.
Don't
Like,
take away my
if I
show.
don't feel safe.
Yes, sir.
Don't
Yes,
take
sir.
away my next show, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
my
go
bad.
get
Yes,
to
sir.
that.
All right.
Don't give them all. Don't give
Get
them
to
all that.
Yeah,
Yes,
we ain't
sir.
gonna give them all that info.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but that's major. That's
Yeah,
major.
but
That's a fact.
that's and it's another form
That's
of
what
deal
submission
breaking.
is, a feeling of
another-
safety.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's another form of deal breaking as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another form of it. I'm gonna go ahead and get to this last question. Can deal breakers be something that can help strengthen a bond?
I'll let the queen answer that first.
Well, I mean, in a sense, you could say yeah, because conflict is what's gonna teach you things. You know, you can't really learn nothing without some type of conflict. So if it's not, you can't disclose everything or possibly know what y'all gonna encounter for everything.
Facts.
So when something comes up, how do you resolve it? You know,
Right.
and are they willing to grow in that area? Are they willing to listen and take your counsel on certain things? And then is the issue resolved?
Exactly.
Conflict resolution. Can you move
Conflict
forward
resolution.
together and everything's still intact? Cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's how you really get to know somebody, is when shit kind of hit the fan or when things happen, or even if it's a minor conflict, But it's levels to conflicts, and that's how you get to know your partner.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree 100% with that. You definitely got to have the conflict resolution. And I would add on to what she said in saying that both parties have to be willing to admit fault. When you're wrong, period. You know what I'm saying? And I think there has to be some grace there from both parties, especially if you're in it. Like if y'all married and y'all like, yo, like, or this is the person you like, listen, I'm riding the rest of my life out with you. If the wheels fall off, you right there, vice versa. It's going to be errors where folks is wrong. But if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to make the adjustment, and if the other person has that patience to walk with you making that adjustment, they can turn around. They can definitely turn around. Both parties got to be willing to put the work in, though.
For sure.
And I would say this, too. You can't hold somebody's mistake over their head. If they're intentionally trying to move forward and they're intentionally trying to correct the situation, you can't hold that over their head, because then that's going to push that other person away. Because it's like, no matter how hard I try, I'm always going to be wrong or blah, blah, blah. You're going to have another mountain to climb. So you have to be willing to, okay, slate clean, let's move forward. You know what I mean?
So it sounds like that wasn't a deal breaker. Like if you still with that person, whatever the mistake was, if you're willing to work through it, people say, I forgive you, whoop-de-whoop, then that's that.
Yeah.
I think the main thing that I'm going to conclude by saying this. I think the main thing in regard to that is you have to, if you're wanting to make it work, you got to be willing to make it to work.
Facts.
Yeah.
And another thing is you have to be able to, if you say you're forgiving that person or you're willing to work with that person, you have to be committed to saying what you just said. Because if you turn around and say, well, I forgive you and I want to work this out, but then you start throwing the shade, you start throwing the salt every 2 seconds, what are you solving?
Yeah, and nobody's going to stick around for that.
And nobody's going to stick around for it.
Yeah.
That's just going to be the conclusion of it.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing in regards of that. But I just want to thank you two.
Man.
Amazing guests. Yeah, y'all got my
That was a
brain
good
working.
show, yeah.
Y'all me
That was
working
good.
over
Good
here.
episode, man.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
episode.
man, I appreciate y'all.
Thanks for having me.
Go ahead and give me your
Definitely.
tag again.
Okay, so I am Queen SP and trap.natural for the business.
Trap.natural. You know what I mean? Will Echo 33.
All right, and I just want to thank our sponsors this week: Deep Tissue Diva, Essential Things and Company as well, and Spoiled Rotten Catering. I appreciate you all helping us out with this show. Appreciate y'all tuning in each and every week to my podcast. Continue to support me. I appreciate everybody. I'm Will West the Best, and I appreciate you tuning in to Men vs. Truth vs. Women podcast. Peace out.
Peace.